Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Bam. We back. Uh-oh. There we go. Now we back. All right, what's up, people? How you doing? What's going on? Yes, we're in the house, people. Check it out, check it out. We're in the house. Welcome back to the show. Yes, Tim Black Show is live, man. Thursday, baby, Thursday. All right, folks. I want to say what's up to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I see I got my people in the house. Thank you for being here, fam. And we are scrolling. Here we go. Yeah. Buck, what's up, fam? How you doing? My moderator, Buck Bewley's in the house, holding it down. Welcome back, Arlene Chambers. What's going on? Yeah. Maddie to you, what's up? Toby, yes, DC Precise. Yeah. QK, Africa. Yo, we in the house, folks. We in the house. Yeah. Bruce Newsom, what's up? Arita Lyles. A man named David. A man called David. I'm sorry, a man called David. He's not named David. That might not even be his name, but they just call him David. Call me David. All right, guys. So look, check this out, people. My family, we're back with another edition of the Tim Black Show. If you're new to this, we cover U.S. politics. So we do here. It's politics. We politic with the politicians. We call out the politicians, right? Primarily the Democratic Party. But every once in a while, we shoot a stray or two over across the fence of the Republicans. Because we ain't with either team. We also cover breaking news and, of course, my beloved Black culture. Yeah, fam. That's what we do here. That's what we do. Yo, Jeff, what's up, Jeff Vyas, man? So, here we go. Got my notes already, man. You know, I gotta make sure when I'm joking or when I'm hitting points or whatever I'm doing, I'm also giving you something to walk away with, man. That's very important for this show. Put some meat on that bone. You know what I'm saying? Can't just have a bunch of, gristle. This guy has some meat on the bone. So that's what we do here, man. So, folks, check this out. I got a good show lined up for us. I think it's a great show. Sound like Trump. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be big, really better than anything you've ever seen. The greatest ever in the history of shows. We had a good show last night, though, guys. If you missed last night, go back and watch that, Joan. That was, whew. Every once in a while, I shock myself. Every once in a while, things get crazy enough. And stuff happens. I had no idea what's going to happen. That was last night. So tonight, to get things kicked off, family, let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to cover tonight. We got some stuff about Kamala Harris at the border or on the border. We got a clip of a sister, Black woman going in on Kamala Harris. I'm going to cover that. That looks delicious. Delicious, fam. Real talk. RFK takes another bite at the Kamala Harris apple. I don't know what's up with RFK Jr., man. He's on one. Trump sits down with Sean Hannity. Take a look at Trumpy Trump. Yeah. And I got a couple short clips in there as well. And yeah. Did I do the Kamala at the barbershop? Kamala takes a trip to the barbershop. That's sort of like my primary joint. I think that's going to hit extremely hard. Yeah, I think that's going to hit extremely hard. So that's it. Matter of fact, I could tie in Kamala at the barbershop. I'm going to combine two segments together. There we go. That's going to be nice. So this is my grand. See, I got notes for myself, man. I got to be my own producer, script writer, showrunner, all that good stuff. So look, guys, let's jump off into it. Let's go to, woo. This is funny. Let's start with this. So the White House press secretary was questioned today. And I got to say, man, first of all, man, it's a hard job being a press secretary. Being and I don't even know why they call it that. They should just call it paid liar. Yeah, paid liar. I don't care. I don't care what administration you work for. If you're that person that's got to go in front of the world and spin everything, I mean, you just be doing this all day, just Curly O'Neill. Y'all remember the Globetrotters, or y'all too young for the Globetrotters? I forget the whistle, but it was a whistle they did for the Globetrotters, and Curly O'Neill was the funny guy. He put the ball on his nose and shit. Elbow, bald head. Harlem Globetrotters was the thing, man. I remember my dad used to call us in, come on in here, Tim. Harlem Globetrotters on. And we all be around the table. My big brother, Gene, and all of us, man. My little brother, Cool Breeze. Even my little sister, Donna, would come in. We all be there. Mom, too. Everybody, look at that. And he was doing tricks and stuff. And well, that's what White House press secretary has to do, man. They gotta spin the ball and do all types of tricks just to try to make the president look like he's not doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Which is usually not doing what he said he was going to do. And also try to fend off any of the press as they make stories and build narratives around all the ways in which the president has not met their obligations. And yeah, so here goes Karen. I'm just going to call her KGP. So here she is responding to some questions about the economy. She does her level best to defend Biden at this point. Check this out.
Thank you, Train. Our new CBS News poll found that registered voters in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania believe that they would be financially better off if Trump wins. How do you explain that?
All right, bye, everybody. Thank you.
Now, look, I'm hoping that's doctored. So don't get me out, because now I think about it, I don't know if that's true or not. They probably, because see these people, man, these people on Twitter be putting anything out there, man. I don't think that's exactly how it went. Yeah, when I grabbed this clip, I was like, I don't think she walked off like that. But I'm going to play it again because it's so damn hilarious. Here we go.
Thank you, Train. Our new CBS News poll found that registered voters...
She does look very tired, though. I don't know, man. She may have been just fed up. Look at her. It's hard being a paid liar. Look at her, man. She came into this job looking all peppy, every bit of 29 years old. Now she look like she's 59. That's a lot of miles on her sister. Look at her. Oh, woe is me. Woe is me. I don't know if I can do this much longer. Poor thing, got to get up there and lie every day. Every day a dumb question. Every day you got to defend something you know it's not true. You got to make up a scenario where this is plausible, where you could get them off his ass or her. And she still works for Biden, and that guy is MIA. So now Corinne, KGP has had to move her deflection over to Kamala. And Kamala just the vice president. Now she got to defend Biden. I don't know where he at. I think he went to Disney World and just never came back. I don't know. Now she's defending Kamala like Kamala's the president. And I know she's just looking at her watch like, man, let me get up out of here so I can write my book and cash in all my money and go be a lobbyist or something, get on my paper. Go get my new job on MSNBC. I know that's what you're going to go do. Just like Jen Psaki. Go get a job on MSNBC, make a lot more money than you're worth. But you played the game. You took one for the team. And I'm sorry, guys, if you are the White House press secretary, you did more than take one for the team. Like, you take one every day. You take several shots a day. This is the most underpaid job in American history. There are people that are shoveling cow manure. We'll be like, man, I'd rather do this than do that shit. Oh, say, damn, I got some on me. I still rather do this. I can put my Walkman in and just Walkman. I can put my earbuds in. Sorry, I had a 90s moment. I can put my music in and just not like us. Not like us. So give it up for Corinne. Very good job, very good job. Like I said, I don't want y'all to think I think that's real. I think someone just clipped that together. That's what they did. But give it up for the meme people. The people that put together the memes. You're doing a really good job this election season. I'm loving it. Very good stuff. I'm seeing memes now that has people dancing and it looks almost real. You know? I think tomorrow, make a note to self. Tomorrow, we're going to do some memes. You know, I'm going to play some memes on the show. You know, it's Friday. You know, loosen up. Okay, so besides that, let's jump off into this, guys. So yeah, you know the narrative, man. Black women love Kamala Harris. The blacks love Kamala, except for black men. Black men got a problem. Something wrong with us. You know, we crazy. Twice as many black men gonna vote for Kamala Harris than white guys, but still, we ain't gonna, you know, we. And actually, I'm glad that a lot of black guys are not gonna vote for Kamala Harris. I've been on the record, guys. I don't like telling people what to do, so I'm telling you what I'm gonna do. I could, you know, hold on. Let me put it this way. I'm not gonna vote for Kamala Harris. That's what I'm not gonna do. Okay, so know that. If you sitting by if you looking over my shoulder and seeing them put down Kamala Harris, you're gonna be sadly mistaken because I am not gonna do that. Okay. But the point is that there are a lot of people that are saying that it's the black guys, the black men, the black males that have such a problem with Kamala Harris. When in actuality, all other men vote for are supportive of her even less. We're the men that support her the most, and I'm upset about it. It burns me up because I feel like the Democrats do nothing but take advantage of black folks. So I don't like that at all. I don't feel, unlike some of these Democrats and these shills who work for the Democratic Party, I'm not sitting back upset when they say black men are supporting Kamala. Because you'll notice there's a lot of black men in media. Why would you say that? We're support her just like we would do anything for her. They take it as an insult, you know, because they programmed. They program, man. They program to want their money to be right. And I think in order for them to stay paid, they gotta lie like that. But the most I still hold out hope that people that are sitting at home are not as delusional as our paid spokesmodels. Okay, so to that point, one thing that's not being talked about that much are black women. Black women are not falling in line the way I think they envision for them to fall in line. You know what I'm saying? I think the black women have they've been showing themselves to be independent thinkers on this. And to that point, here goes a sister who ain't falling in line for anyone. She's gonna make her own decision. Check this out.
Real black women. We were freed on January 1st of 1863. Therefore, you're not going to control us. You're not going to bully us into voting for whomever you select for your own personal gain. We're not going to do what you say because we're afraid of you. Those days are over. But I also wanted to specifically address what you're doing with Kamala Harris. First of all, most of us do not care what her race is. You could have promoted her as just a good candidate, but the fact that you're promoting her as the black woman candidate, that makes people that are intelligent, that makes us pause and say, Okay, so what? She's the black female. Tell me something about what she's going to do for my community, for my family, and for my country. If you can't do that, then you've made a great mistake. You have lost half of us who are intelligent enough to know that the President of the United States must be able to sit across a table from Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, from whomever the new Prime Minister is or President of Iran, and from Yi from China. You have to have those qualities. Therefore, you cannot be afraid to have an interview before a favorable news network like NBC, CBS, CNN, ABC, and all of the rest of them. If you are afraid to have an interview, my major concern is what is Putin going to do with you or to you and to the United States? Those are the things that are important to us. Then let's go down the line. Again, if you are a real presidential candidate, we want to know about issues, policies that will affect us, things that you messed up in the last 3.5 years. We want to know today. You have 2 months. Today, how are you going to fix the prices of food in grocery stores? I don't like using the term inflation because most people don't even know what that means. But you know what? Everybody knows what it means, how expensive eggs are. That, you know, she was making these comments about using hot sauce, how expensive. Louisiana hot sauce, I can't afford to buy it anymore because it's gone up. It's like tripled in price or something. It's crazy. Those are the things that we're interested in. We also want to know illegal immigration, what you have done to the border, and why have you done it to the border. You were the border czar, but now we see an influx of illegal immigrants. Military-age men. We see what is going on in Colorado. We know that the prisons in Venezuela were emptied and they were told to go to the United States. We see what that has done to our cities. And we want to know, why did you let that happen? We want to know what's happened with child trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking on the border when everybody has free reign. Those are the issues that are important to American black women, okay? Real black women who are free, who do not care what race you are. They could have put you out here and never said anything about race. But if you told me, yes, we've made mistakes in the last 3.5 years, but I promise you in the next month, we're going to get the price of eggs down. Next month, we're going to stop illegal immigration before the election. Show us what you can do before the election comes. Let me see what you have. It's like, okay, you know, don't just talk your talk. You better walk your walk. Do it right now while you're the vice president. Therefore, some of us can follow you. And the other thing, all of the efforts that you're making, that the Democrat Party is making to make you pretend to be a black woman, they're insulting. The fact that you have to change your diction when you go from place to place, insulting. I've spoken, I don't know where, how many different places. It never has occurred to me to speak differently before different crowds of people. Now, if you're intelligent, you're going to speak intelligently. I don't care where you're speaking. And to assume that you have to talk down to black people is insulting to all black people. You don't have to talk down to us. You don't have to get somebody on stage dancing and twerking to relate to us. Grown people, you can talk to us like grown people. And you know what? It doesn't matter what race. We don't care. But I just wanted to say this to the Democrat Party. You've made mistakes with this candidate. And I want you to know that the black women of America, those of us who are free, we recognize your mistakes.
Wow. What else? I mean, I feel like I felt last night after RFK went to town, because that right there, folks, is what you call a clinic. Yeah, that's someone showing you exactly how it's done. That, my friend, is a workshop. That's an online course of all the things you don't want to do if you're running for president. She just gave you not only the Cliff Notes, she gave you the entire answer book. Yeah, that was amazing display right there. She said real black women are free. Real black women who are free don't need you to put on any type of black scent. We don't care what color you are. See, what they've been doing is what you call a psyop, sister. They've been running a psyop on the black community where they pit black people against each other. That's what the Democrats have done. That was their plan here, to pit us against ourselves and make us have to either not be black, which is what Joe Biden telegraphed, right? But back 4 years ago, he telegraphed this, didn't he? When he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. See what I'm saying? They already started the game plan then, where they want us to question who we are. Because they know what has been done to us in this country. They know the history of black people in this country. They're not winging it. Nah, they're not winging it at all, sister. They have this down to a science. So now they're messing with our minds. And they're using black influencers. They're using the same black people that we, without us, would not have the money that they have, would not have the riches that they have. And look, and a whole lot of white people checking for Ricky Smiley. Okay? Not a whole lot of white people are checking for Ricky Smiley. They ain't listening to his show on the road to work. Not that many. I'm not saying there's not some white folks that frequent him, but let's just keep it real. You know, his characters that he's been playing over the last 30 years, we're the ones that support that. He's like Tyler Perry without the creativity. You know what I'm saying? So he took that currency that we gave him. What did he do? He used it to work with Biden and Kamala and turned it against us. It came out attacking black people, telling us that we don't support Kamala Harris. We have failed in our blackness. And the number one thing I've been telling people is that, similar to what you said, and I love the way you put this, but I'll put it my way, and I'll say, it was never about her blackness or lack of blackness. But when they started to weaponize her melanin, when they weaponize her skin tone to accuse us and say, well, if you don't support her, you're not black. If you don't support her, you're not supporting a black. You need to support this black woman. You don't love your mother. You don't love your sister. D.L. Hughley's doing it right now. I just saw D.L. Hughley double, triple, quadruple down on this when he was arguing with Dr. Umar about a debate. He said, I don't need to debate you. If you can't vote for, you're a black man that won't vote for a black woman. He never said you won't vote for a woman with great ideas. You won't vote for a woman who's has strong leadership ability that's been demonstrated time and time again. You won't vote for a black woman who has great command of the issues and where she stands. And can project that and iterate that, communicate that to the masses the way she has. No, he just goes to, you won't vote for a black woman. Because on paper, she served these positions that in the last two positions, the nomination and the VP, she didn't earn those positions. They were given to her. She didn't win those positions. They were gifted to her. So I loved what this woman, this sister right here, this woman, this human being, this person. I love what she had to say here, but there is something that is very deep about what she said, folks. Which is, when they put a black person up and they say this is a black person, black people, because that's who they're saying it to. But they're also saying it to well-intentioned white folks who want the country to be a better country. So it's a mind trick on them too. And I'm starting to see how they're playing white people in this whole thing. But if you were a black person, you went to the grocery store and they had a section that said, black people food. One thing we know, guys, is we better not go down that aisle. Because when they put something there just for black people, when they do it, when the powers that be, when the dominant society puts something, when they label it just black stuff, we know it's not going to be up to par, man. We know that because if it was good, it'd be good for everybody. Right? It would be good for everybody. But when you say it's just black people, come get this. Black people. You're not telling me, come get this because this is better for you. No, that's not what they say. And I say, come get this because, because of your dynamic, the DNA strand, because of the hereditary genes that run with black people, our predisposition to certain illnesses or conditions or whatever, right? Some scientific reason, some medical reason, right? That'd be different. The only reason they give us is that she black. Nah, man. Nah, we ain't falling for that. That syphilis thing, nah. We've been down the road with this before. We heard about the Tuskegee experiment. This is nothing new. I know people that will never smoke Newports because they promote them to black people. They're like, nah, give me some Camels. I could probably live 30 years smoking them. I smoke menthols, be gone in 10 years. And by the way, if you smoke, please give it up. I gave it up almost a decade ago. I haven't felt better. I tried, and I finally was able to kick it. So you can give that shit up. Believe me. I support you. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to encourage you to say it does get easier. Now, last thing I think about doing is smoking a cigarette. It's disgusting. Even when I see a cool person on TV do it, and it's like they got the lighting and the movie, it looks great, and this is going on, I'm like, man, nah, that shit stinks. So anyway, it gets better. If Kamala Harris was so great, we wouldn't have to sell her through a race. I didn't buy Tupac's album because he was black. I bought it because he was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. You know what I'm saying? I didn't rock with Biggie or rock with Brand Nubians or rock with anything. Das Effects, Ice Cube, any of the MC Light. I didn't listen to MC Light because she was a black woman. I listened to her because she was MC Light and she had dope rhymes. Paper Thin. We listened to Salt and Pepper because they were dope. My mic sound nice. We didn't listen. And all the art we consume. The movies that we watch, the clothes that we wear, it's not just, we made them dope. We wore them because we liked them. And that's what made them hot. We didn't wear them because they were black clothes. When we wore them, they became black clothes. They became black fashion. They became culture. And what they've done with Kamala is the reverse. She black, so you gotta wear it. Nah. No. We liked FUBU because we liked FUBU. And I don't care who made it. If we thought it was not, if we didn't like the fashion, we'd have never wore it. And Damon John and those other brothers, same thing with the Cross Color Brothers, all of them. So what the Democratic Party has done, that's why I tell folks, I say, look, man, they have taken advantage of us. They're running game on us. And there's so many of us who don't get it. But there are a lot of us that do get it and take heart. Real talk, it's a lot more of us getting it. When I started saying this 10 years ago, I felt like I was alone in the wilderness almost. Most of the people that are covering news now weren't even covering it when I started saying that. And now I got so many brothers and sisters that are right here doing this or who have a similar message because we all different. So this sister right here, man, I'm so glad to hear her. 5 years ago, I probably would never be able to find her video. That's how I know it's been a surge because the numbers, the shares, people emailing, people reposting, more platforms, more people going in, telling the truth. And this is an awakening that I haven't seen before. I'm sure this existed in other times. And when I interviewed Bill Duke, he was talking about the 70s and the 80s. I know he saw some stuff, but I'm talking about our time, our Generation X time. Okay? This takes me back to when hip hop was conscious. That little brief flicker in time. You know what I'm talking about. That brief time, right? Anyway, that sister was amazing. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Right now would be a good time, guys, to hit like. Hit like on this video, guys. If you like what you got so far, we're going to go a lot further, man. I got more content for you, but this really helps us in the algorithm. If you can't become a member of the show, hitting like and sharing that joint is important too, and that's priceless too. So if you can do that, much respect to you. Let's keep going, though. Let's keep going. Yesterday we did the. Yesterday I ran a clip of RFK Jr. And RFK Jr. went in on Kamala Harris. He was on the Chris Cuomo show, and he had some very choice words for her. And it was to the point, man, I had to just lose it on there. Well, here he goes again. This time he's on Sean Hannity's Fox News, and it's a different sound, but it's the same beat.
On stage facing Kamala Harris, how would you turn this exchange into a victory for you?
I talk about her record. I talk about the border. I would, if between 7 and as high as 15 million illegal immigrants who've come in, escorted in by the Sinaloa drug cartel. They've been crushing the social safety system in our country. I talk about the COVID lockdowns, which closed 3.3 million businesses, and 41% of the black-owned businesses will never reopen. It shifted $4.3 trillion north from the American middle class to this new oligarchy of billionaires. I would talk about censorship. I think she's very, very vulnerable on that because of the statements that she's made, but also the policy of the Biden administration. You now have Mark Zuckerberg coming forward and saying that the Biden White House ordered him to censor President Biden's political opponents. And I'd want to know about where she stood on that. I'd talk about the health epidemic in our country that is overwhelming American children. I talk about her role in gaslighting the country about President Biden's mental condition. She told the country that she was talking to him every day and that he was perfectly okay. And then we realized that it was all a hoax when we saw him on the debating stage. Oh, I think she has a lot of the economy is a mess. We've got I want to know how she's going to deal with the housing crisis, how she's going to get our kids back into houses again. Our kids can't afford housing, the first generation in history. I'd ask her about the deficit, $35 trillion. $1 trillion every 90 days, we're adding $1 trillion. Within 5 years, 50 cents out of every dollar that we spend in taxes is going to go to servicing the debt. Does she have a plan for that?
Wow. Like I said, man, RFK is on point, man. And what I'm noticing, I'm getting people. Of course, I'm getting a lot of people that agree, that are very happy that he's sounding off on Kamala Harris the way he is. But I'm also noticing that there are people that don't. They're like, he's got sour grapes. He just got a bone to pick. He just wish he could work with Kamala Harris. You know what, guys? I don't much care why he's doing it. Yeah, a better comeback would be he's not telling the truth. See, when people can't rattle you, or when people can't disprove what you're saying, then they shoot the messenger. That's what they do. They go after the message because the message is on point. The number of black businesses that have gone away since COVID and never came back. Most of the unemployment numbers, most of the employment numbers that the Biden administration brags about are just jobs that reopened after being shut down by COVID. That's all it is. So, I mean, you mean to tell me that a business that closed its door, if it luckily reopened and they said, okay, you come back to work, you're calling that a new job? Yes, Tim, they are. They're calling that a new job. They're counting that as new jobs. They're also counting Lyft and Uber and Instacart as new jobs. It's jobs, as if people can actually raise their families off that. Now, those are supplemental jobs of people that need more than one job typically. It's worse. When you see those numbers go up, it's not a good thing. It's because people need to do something to make extra money. They should not have to make extra money. And something else needs to be said about that, because when people got to take on extra jobs, forget that hustle mentality. Most of those people have kids. Well, at least some of them have to have kids. What about quality of life? What about quality of parenting? What about those responsibilities? See what I'm saying? So some of these unemployment, these employment numbers, not to mention, they never count when people drop out of the workforce. Oh, when they drop out of the workforce, once you're gone off the unemployment lines, they just assumed you got back to work somehow. It's like magic. Magically, you found a job somewhere. So the numbers, the employment numbers are never anything to ever hold much weight into, because they're just easily gamed. Numbers are always easily gamed. You know what I'm saying? I got a segment that's gonna go into that. But the point is, what RFK Jr. is saying here, it hits so hard because it's relevant. That's all it is. It's relevant. And now you know why they shut him out. Now you know why they didn't want him talking. Why he only had two interviews on mainstream media. I heard in the last clip, I had no idea it was this bad. So Ross Perot had like 40-something appearances during his time that he ran for office. And this time out, RFK, he was given two interviews. And now I think about it, wow, he must be sitting back looking at Cornel West, Dr. Cornel West, like, wow, this guy, they must love this guy. How does this guy get to get on TV so often? And that's because they wanted him to talk about Gaza. When he started venturing anywhere else, all of a sudden, Dr. West was gone for weeks. But anyway, the point is, what RFK Jr. is talking about is important. And it's sad that we have some folks who don't understand. You want to know the answers to his questions. You don't want him to shut up. Because if I don't know. If you get a surprise box, right? You get a surprise box, and let's say you got to pay for it. You got to pay for this box. You don't know exactly what's in it. Back when my mom was in the flea market business, that's what I called it. We sold junk. Flea market business, the vending business. Some people might relate to it, right? Get something, you clean it up, you sell it. Well, you can go to some places, right, where they sell these bundles, these baskets. You couldn't really know exactly what was in them, but people would bid on them. So it'd be like an auction for a crate. And your hoping is that you take some of the items in the crate and say if you bid $100 on the crate, you would make 150, 200. If you got really, if you got really lucky, maybe some really good stuff was in there, and you can make even more. So you could double your money, and that was the idea. You want to know what's in the crate as soon as possible. You want to be able to kind of peek and see what crates you're going to bid on before the show or before the auction, because once you bid on it and win, you got to pay. You don't get to go, oh, look at the crate. I didn't know there was this garbage in here. I didn't know this radio didn't work. I didn't know this iron was missing the knobs, and I had no idea. All these shirts in here were irregulars. So before the auction, you had a chance you could go through and look at everything, and you're supposed to make notes like, okay, number 3, we want number 3, baby, number 3. Tim, what was number 5? Well, how'd that look? I saw some glassware in there, but some of them look broke. Okay, forget that. What about number 7? What'd you see in 7? So when they start doing the auction, then you once you put your money up, that's it. What we have right now in our political climate is we have people that don't want to know what's in the boxes or in the baskets. They just want to win. They just want to win with Kamala. They don't care what's in it. That's crazy. They're not being business people. You got to know what's in the box to know if you're making a good investment, because you need to double it up. That's why I say, man, this election, man, is really, to me, this is about class war right here, because working blacks, the blacks who need government to work for us, the black people that want America to do better by Black America, that need America to do better for Black America. If you got your kids in a school district that's dependent on the tax dollars from an income base that lives in apartments in a gentrified area or a non-gentrified area, depending on where it is, but in the area where the housing, where the tax base is not high, you can't compete. Therefore, you don't get the better teachers. Therefore, you don't get the better curriculum, or the students don't get access to that better curricula. You have more depressed area. You got less high employment. You got people that are struggling more beneath the poverty line or hovering around it, circling the drain. That means that's going to come with a whole host of problems: depression, people trying to manage their depression, people self-medicating different ways, children not getting the type of attention they need, lack of resources. When you live in areas like that, man, you need government to work. You need the government to do something. You don't want to elect somebody and not look in the box and not know what you're getting. But see, when you're doing well and you living in your nice Ramlo or your nice single family, your house somewhere in the suburbs, all good, when you're making big money, you're living down the street from P. Diddy, his cousin, or I don't know, you living in the Palisades, or you living just in a really affluent type of life, you know, you up here bragging because you an engineer and your wife a doctor, and you act like everybody could do exactly what you did. You know, you black and you did it, and you chilling, and ain't really no black people on your block. You got a bunch of whites, Asians, and Native American, whites, Asians, Latinos, rich, whatever, Indians, whatever, living around you that got paper. They got paper. Well, you know what? You don't need government to work for you. Then you don't care what's in the box. You don't care what's in the cart. You ain't even there. But if you are there, it's there for fun. It's like you on a tour. It's like you're on safari. Right? And when you bid on something, you just, hey, but I don't even want to look, man. What we get? Oh, man, we ain't getting up this time. It's just like, that's crazy. Hey, you want this card, baby? Hey, sister over there, you want this card? Yeah, y'all can have that card, man. Nah, man, I ain't got nowhere to put that stuff, man. It's been a fun experience, though. Yeah, this is cool. This is all right. I might do this again. Bring my friends by, man. After we play a round of golf, we can stop by and see, you know, maybe we can find some antiques or something. I don't need none of that, man. Nah, man, I don't got time to put that stuff up on eBay. Got time for that. Because, see, you don't need government to work for you, so you don't care what's in the box. What you care about is having a good time, i.e. bragging rights, i.e. symbolism, i.e. it'd be nice to have a black woman in that job. Don't matter what's on the inside. Don't matter what she do. She black. She a woman. She got a uterus. She was a Sigma, whatever. She's in the right sorority. You know, she one of us. She went to Howard. Sweet. Yeah. You know? My cousin might work for her administration. See, that's the type of mentality. So I'm telling you, folks, I believe that this is going to come down to a civil war between black folks. That's what this is showing us. And you know what? And I think I'm kind of late to the game on that. I think it's always been that way. It's just until I decided to go in working class, like a couple years ago, I was like, you know what? I was talking to my wife. I said, you know what? I want to be the working class champ. I don't want to pretend that I'm these other people, because I'm not. They got all their degrees on the walls and shit. They're doing their best to sound or whatever, because they want to be sitting next to Joy Reid one day. I don't want to do that. I want to lean into what I'm good at. I want to lean into who I am. Looking for somebody with 3 degrees. Well, Mark Lamont Hill's right down the street. He's right over there. Just click right over there. He right over there. He's going to use a lot of big words for you. You know what I'm saying? So when I got into this working class thing, I started realizing, oh, snap. It's not just black people. It's really black people without the paper that they detest. These elite blacks, we holding them back. This is a soldier story. Every day, all day, on repeat. And they are Adolf Caesar. That's how they feel about us when we got problems with that our kids are getting beat upside the head by whomever. And also, they could just focus on the cops. They don't even have to focus because see, they can get pulled over one day. But they don't talk about the what's happening with black people. Where other black people are killing other black people in these neighborhoods because that's happening in those poor neighborhoods. So they could just stay on the peripheral and just be concerned when it's Tamir Rice, a Tatiana Jefferson, right? That's when they could care. But we live in this every day with the fentanyl. We live in this every day with what's happening with our kids with the gangs. They don't have that problem. They somewhere else. So there is a humongous. They want to say it's Trumpism. Nah, it's brokeism, dum-dum. It's moneyism. It's finances. It's lack of resources. It's all that. So, it's important to bring these issues up. All right. I can stay there all day. I do want to come back to that topic on another show because I think there's a lot to that. There's a lot that needs to be said about that topic. That the distance between elites, and see, I don't mean when these women are saying the black, because I've seen these dumb articles, black people black men are the white people of the black community. What are you talking about? Oh, you mean the black men that die 10 years before you on average? You outlive us by like 8 years, sister. Is that what you're talking about? Or the black men are still 4 times more likely to be in jail than you. What are you talking about, really? You're talking about a class of black men that is a fraction of the overall group of black men. That's who you're talking about. You're talking about Clarence Thomas. Say Clarence Thomas, because you getting Tyrone and Dwayne and Dern and Antoine and Craig and them all mixed up with that when you ain't got nothing to do with what you're talking about. I've been working in D.C. my entire life for contract companies where you won't even see no straight brothers. If that bothers you, that's my reality. I saw it. It'd be like a whole room full of only black guys. It'd be like 3 black guys and 2 of them gay. Because they were scared of hetero black guys and a bunch of sisters kissing white people's ass all day. I've been there. I had sisters come up to me, the older sisters that had this seniority, but they were still G9s, G8s, G7s. Good to see you, brother. My brother, good to see you. Good to see you, young man. We don't get brothers like you here. 2000. Not 1976. I was barely a baby then. I'm talking about 2000s, man. So anyway. Man, I got stuff I can say, man. I got stories to tell you, but I want to keep it in the news cycle. What I'm saying is we are going through something right now. You're going through something right now. That sister did it, man. She put me on one, man. And give it up for that sister one more time, man. Let me get out of it. That sister gives me hope, man. That sister keeps my hope going. That warms my soul, man. All right, let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to comments real quick. I saw a couple comments come in. I don't want to go too far in the show. Then we're going to pick up. Hit like while we go through the comments, folks, if you haven't already. Mal B says the Dems and Kamala Harris have be feeling some type of way. R.I.P. Wish homie Quan. Wow, Johnson. I meant to stop the show with that, but I appreciate you bringing that up. R.I.P. Rich homie Quan, y'all. R.I.P. Maddie says black men get blamed more than Trump. They do. It's amazing. And who's doing the blaming? Elites. Elite blacks. You don't have, I don't hear Chris Hayes. I don't hear Chuck Todd. You know? I don't see Nancy Grace. I don't even know where Nancy Grace is at. The black woman, the white woman on The View, they don't say nothing about black men. Negative. I mean, they can't, you know. But people get upset if they did that. But she'll say it for them. That's why she's there. That's why she's sitting there. She's sitting there to throw black men under the bus occasionally. Well, not just Whoopi, but you know, I'm gonna give her all the credit. We got 5 gifts from AWS 21st. Thank you, AW. Man, I still don't know how that works, but whoever got them, man, shout out AW2S, 21S Street, 21st. Queen Lioness of Judah. Thank you, Queen Lioness of Judah. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Look, guys, folks, family, please hit the like button for us. And tip your bartenders, waitresses, whatever. I don't know. Waiters and waitresses. So we did Corinne, we did the sister. That sister got me going, man. I'm passionate on that topic. Look, we don't do this very often. We haven't done this very often. I want to do this. Let's go to Donald Trump on Sean Hannity, because Trump went to Sean Hannity, had a conversation. It's like a town hall type event. I only got a portion of it, but we do want to cover it. So let's cover a little bit of Trump talking to Sean Hannity in Pennsylvania, which is a vitally important place for both candidates.
Yeah. It's no, but even if you don't like me, you can sit there and say, I can't stand that guy, but there's no way I'm going to vote for her. No, you have to have fracking. You know, you're the big.
I thought that was a very important thing. That's why I started off with that, because I'm listening to this thing, right? I'm trying, okay, first of all, it was like an hour long. It was like a preamble, a bunch of stuff. Then they were just talking, and a lot of what Trump said was like his greatest hits. You know, it's a softball interview, and Trump does a lot of these. He's been on like everything. Okay, he sat down with Alex. What's his name? Alex. He sat down for like 3 podcasts. He sat down with Theo Vaughn, Alex something, the guy who's really smart dude. Sat down with someone else. And then he did this too. It's like, damn, Trump is everywhere. So he says a lot of the same stuff. I want to try to catch him saying some stuff that was unique. But when I heard him say this, folks, I was like, what? This is interesting, guys, because what he's saying here is like, he flipped it. He flipped it on the Democrats. He said, look, Kamala is so bad at this and so bad at that. And these things that Joe Biden did are so bad, even if you don't like me, you gotta vote for me. because you don't want that. See, Trump knows he can't redo his image in 2 months. Why even try? Why even try? He's like, hey, if you don't like me, if you say I can't stand that guy, you still got to vote for me because look what she did to the border. Forget coming out here going, I'm more joyous than Kamala. Look at me, I smile all the time. He's like, okay, I'm not going to be as doom and gloom. I'm going to put a little bit of sugar on my inspiration, a little bit of sugar on my doom and gloom. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lean in on, hey, you ain't got to like me. I'm the better person to deliver on what you need, what your family needs. So let me go back to the drawing board on that. Let me remind you of this ish that you can't stand for. Much as you don't like me, you don't want that. I thought it was genius, frankly. And you know, that's something crazy. I mean, how many times have you heard someone say that about Trump? Very few. I've also never used that. But what I'm telling you is that was a genius move. That was a genius move. That is leaning into what works for you. Yeah, I don't have to sweet talk you. I don't have to pander to you. I don't have to kiss up and pretend to be something I'm not. Pretend I now support building a border wall when I spent 4 years, 5 years dumping on that idea. Hell, she spent 8 years criticizing tightening immigration. And now she's pandering, going, we're going to secure the border? Let's let them keep going, Tim.
Biggest in the country for this. You have two of the biggest sites in the world. It's a massive business for Pennsylvania, and you can't take a chance. She will not allow fracking. She's not going to, and she's got a lot of other problems too. But for your particular, for the Commonwealth, you have no choice
if I may,
but to allow it.
16 minutes and 30 seconds are up. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
The president has spoken for a total of 16 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, they were making fun of Kamala because that's how long she spoke during her CNN Dana Bash interview. 16 minutes and 30 seconds. This was like 45 minutes.
I'll say something else.
Real quick, because we got a break.
If you watch that interview, she had notes. That means she knew the questions, and she had notes. She kept looking down, up. Nobody wants to cover it. I know all about notes. I mean, you know, it's all right if people know that, but she wasn't supposed to have notes. So she's asked a question. She looks down. She keeps. She had notes. That means she knew that. She knew what was happening.
You know what? I couldn't tell if she had notes or not. I knew she was doing something. I thought she was trying to remember stuff. There have been people that suggested that she had notes. It doesn't really matter because it's pre-taped. So whether she had notes or not is irrelevant because we don't know what was actually said or at any time anyway. For all we know, they could have gave her 3 or 4 chances at the same question. So even dying on that hill as a commentator, I chose not to because I know I couldn't prove it. But it doesn't matter because if it's not live, who gives a damn? The fact, the sheer fact, guys, that we have people that call themselves independent media, all that's gone now. Independent media, that don't exist anymore. If they are supporting Kamala, if they've been saying Kamala did a great job, she didn't. Just like I said here, Trump did a lot of his greatest hits. I'm being real. He did a lot of his greatest hits. I didn't include his greatest hits because you've heard it 1,000 times. Wasn't much unique, but this is unique. He never said this before. That's why it's in this clip. Okay? But when Kamala spoke, when that interview, if you call that an interview, I don't call that an interview. When they put out that piece of propaganda, because if it's not live, if it's 15 minutes of not live, pre-recorded, and they admit they talk for much longer than they even said, hey, We talk for an hour. Here goes 20 minutes. Here's 25 minutes. So what didn't you include? So if they call themselves independent media and they're saying she did a great job, I saw some people, even people that I actually was on panels with before, people that I used to know 3 years ago, 4 years ago, guys, they were going, she did a great job. I'm like, I can't believe I ever was associated with these people. How could you say somebody did a great job if you threw them the ball while they stood on a ladder next to the basket? How's that a great job? Oh, that's right. Participation trophy.
Did her campaign, when they said that they wanted to change the rules that they had agreed to, did they ask for notes? Did they ask for the...
They wanted notes.
They wanted to be seated, and they wanted your mic hot.
And they wanted a desk. They didn't want to do... I said, you got to do a stand-up.
After they already agreed to the other.
Yeah, but they wanted a desk from the beginning. You know who else wanted a desk? Sleepy Joe. He wanted a desk.
All right, we got to take a break. More with President Trump. We are in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We'll continue our...
Yeah, man. It's so whether you like Trump or don't like Trump, whatever you think about him, that's got nothing to do with the reality. The reality is that's true. Those are the conditions that they wanted. Those are the changes that they wanted. Biden is 20 years older than Kamala, and she can't stand up. Trump is 16 years older, right? 76, right? 78? I don't even know how old Trump is. 78, 76, something like that. Let's call it 77 and call it in the middle. He's 17 years older. He's almost 20 years older. You need to sit down? Really? Kamala, really? You need notes? I thought everyone's saying that Trump is demented. He's the one. I saw a clip. I was going to air. I saw Chris Hayes. His title of the video was Trump is becoming more and more cognitively declined. That was the title. It's amazing how all of a sudden now that Biden's out of the race, Democrats now all of a sudden recognize people with cognitive decline. We've been only saying it about Biden for 5 years. We were saying that in 2019. None of them could see it. None of them would comment on it. None of them would recognize it. Instead, they say it's a smear. It's a smear. It's ageist. But now they do it to Trump, and it's a headline. It's because they all agreed to, oh, this is how we're going to go after Trump. That's what we're doing. It's really hard to do this job because everything I see from liberal media is so negative about Trump. To include him, it's got to be stuff like this because there's nothing else. I mean, it's all negative. Anyway, so, I mean, take it as you want to take it. Believe what you want to believe, but the facts are the facts. You know, Kamala is the one that wants to change the rules. So that debate's going to come up. It's going to say a lot. And people say, oh, Tim, it's not that big deal. A bigger deal. It's just a debate. Most people have decided, there are people that were borderline. There are people that are borderline. I don't think Trump voters are borderline. I think there are people that they had a knee-jerk reaction that moved over to Kamala just because they were so taken back that, it was a new thing. And they, what? They didn't even pay attention to Kamala at all. She was vice president. They were like, who? What? There are people still that don't know her name that are going to vote for her because she's a woman. But let it be known, and a black woman, but let it be known, 2 months is a long time for them to have clips played if she falls down during this debate. And I don't mean fall down from standing. I mean falls down on her lies, on her flip-flops. If she is held to account, if there are basic questions asked about positions she held last time she ran for president and how those positions have morphed to the opposite. So yeah, this debate isn't. I don't listen to people to tell me it's not consequential. I think it's going to be very impactful to those voters. Not everybody, but to somebody, and a lot of somebodies who are going to be impacted by that. Because once again, just her coming up, it kind of shook the system. It rocked the road. It rocked the table for a minute. But yeah, we'll see what happens, because some of those people are not hard. They are not hard in the camp for Kamala. A lot of Trump people are with Trump because they've been with Trump. Not for one election, not for two elections, but for 3 elections. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Speaking of polls, man. What do I got? What I got? No, I don't have polls. No, I don't have polls. But I do have this. How are we looking for time? We looking good? Hour 20 minutes. Okay, check this out, guys. The border wall, immigration. Oh man. Back when I was more of a lefty type of a guy, when I thought, hey man, and part of it was you want to be a better person. I used to think these are the better people. They want people to have health care. These people want our water to be clean. These people want our air to be clean. These people are better people, you know? They say they want to end mass incarceration. Then they all support Kamala Harris, a prosecutor that threw people in jail. See what I'm saying? They was just saying these things. They didn't mean them. Kamala Harris was a prosecutor. She was a district attorney. She was the attorney general that kept people in jail longer than their sentences. Didn't want to give them good time. Didn't want to release them. This is what she did. And there are people that said, I'm progressive, Tim. We're progressive. And they're right there supporting her. And that's when I knew I did the right thing. I mean, I really knew. I mean, I knew it for a couple of years now. But I'm really oh man. One of those issues is the immigration issue. One of those issues is the immigration issue, folks. And what I'm trying to tell you is this issue is blowing up because, and I had to be educated, because where I'm at in Maryland, I don't see it. But then I remember when my mom lived, my dad lived, rest his soul. We saw it. He talked about it when I was 10, 12, 15, 16, 17. So what's happening now is we have the Democratic Party. There was once upon a time, and I mean just under Obama, guys. Obama was the deporter-in-chief, right? This guy was kicking people out of the country. It was search and find and push back or whatever. No catch and release. Obama was ruthless to the point where he had to reverse some of his stuff. They were protesting Obama on immigration. Hard. I was like, what? So now things changed under Biden. Biden went the other way. Biden just said, hey, F all this stuff, man. I don't even know what the numbers are. And I didn't realize it. People like, Tim, man, things are really bad. I had an interview with Dr. Musa Abdullah. He was like, nah, Tim, things are really bad. The resources, people fighting for resources in the inner cities, Philly, New York, Chicago. They feel it. They feel the strain of Biden's policies. But now, Kamala, who's a part of that administration, who was also ran in 2020 on 2019, she didn't even want to make crossing the border illegally against the law. She didn't want it to be a crime. Now she's changed her tune totally. But her administration and what she ran on, anyway, forget it. I'm going to play a clip. They're going to say it better than I can. We'll talk about it after. Check this out.
Tonight, K-File investigates. In a new report you'll see first out front, the K-File team scoured Kamala Harris's tweets and statements going all the way back to 2017. And what they found was more than 50 instances of Harris slamming Trump's border wall. But now, new Harris campaign ads actually showcase that very wall.
As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border.
And on top of critical tweets, Harris also wrote in her 2019 book, quote, "There was a bigger reason to oppose the border wall. A useless wall on the southern border would be nothing more than a symbol, a monument standing in opposition to not just everything I value, but to the fundamental values upon which this country was built. How could I vote to build what would be little more than a monument designed to send the cold, hard message, keep out?" Well, K-File's Andrew Kaczynski joins me now. So, Andrew, I mean, you all have gone through, scoured an incredible amount of material. Tell me more about what you found.
Yeah, that's right. We found more than 50 of those tweets criticizing the border wall before she used that in her ad. And I want people to take a look at just a few of what she said here. She called it wasteful, useless, a waste of taxpayer money, a vanity wall project, a wasteful border wall, a stupid wall, a medieval vanity project, and an unnecessary wall. And those are really just, there were more, this was like 10 or like 50. But there was really a lot of this was the common refrain during the campaign. You read that quote where she said it was against everything that not only she stood for, everything America stood for, and she brought this up a lot. Take a listen to just one instance of that in 2019.
It's the president's vanity project. His multi-billion-dollar vanity project called a wall is nothing more than a distraction from the fact that he actually hasn't focused on working people in America. He contrived a national crisis around his big distraction.
All right, so you go through all of that, you've got all the tweets, and yet all of a sudden in the ads, there's pictures of the wall, and then you went through to look at that wall. Yeah. Like, what is that specific wall that's in her campaign ads now? And you found something very interesting about this specific portion of the wall.
And I think what's also really remarkable about this is, you heard her talking about it there, Trump's wall in his campaign during his presidency. There was really no greater symbol of Trump's presidency than the wall, and the way that Democrats were attacking him over the wall and his restrictive immigration policies. So we looked in that ad, and if you look at it, that exact area of wall is in Sasabe, Arizona, and that is a portion of wall that was actually built by Donald Trump. It was built in an area where there was not previous wall. It was actually pretty controversial when they were building it at the time. So just to see that, and then there are other.
She's using his wall that he built to say, "Look at what I did." Basically.
And the other images of the wall, we weren't able to pinpoint, but there's telltale signs that was a Trump wall because there's an anti-climbing plate on top that became popularized during the Trump years.
It's really incredible reporting and important. All right, Andrew Kaczynski and K-File, thank you very much.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. That's pretty low that you would spend years running on. You would spend a good amount of time on a campaign trail back in 2019 through 2020 when you dropped out. You were writing a book. You wrote in your own book how you were against this wall, and this wall is pathetic, vanity project, stupid, waste of time, waste of resources, all these things, all these negative things. And then when you run for president, we skipped over 4 years, didn't we? We skipped over you as the vice president, telling people don't come. That's funny. That's hilarious. That was the memorable quote from one of her speeches that I remember was, "Don't come, don't come." Yeah, I guess it's a little bit different than saying the wall is bogus. You're not saying you won't let them in. You're just saying don't come. I don't get it. It's just Kamala's a flip-flopper. And she's more than just a flip-flopper. She's an opportunist. You understand what I'm saying? Once again, man, if you disagree with somebody, and you understand what you disagree with them on, and you just have a difference of opinion, okay. That happens, right? There are people, we are different people. We're going to have different beliefs, different stances. That's all good, right? But if you're a voter and this is your core issue, you got to look at it and say, hey, man, hold on a second. This is a no do for me. Because I don't trust you on this issue. And even worse than that, even if you agree with her that you want the border to be more protected, why would you believe her to do it when it fell apart under her watch as VP, and she was opposed to doing that before she had power? So out of power, you got all these ideas, all these things you're going to say you're going to do. Not to mention you raise money off of it. You open up your website. You do you run money. You run up the numbers. You get all these people to donate to your campaign because these are the things you stand for. And then you go and throw in with Joe Biden, who's the opposite of what you stand for. At least supposedly, I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know what happened. But what I can see from now that all the smoke is cleared, we got somebody who was against it, was for it, and is against it again. No, was for immigration, was against immigration, then kind of for it, then all the way in with Biden. I don't know what happened. I don't get it. And then now you're against it. I think it's going to be a situation where she's going to have to come out, even to her supporters, even to the people that will listen to me critique her on this and be like, Tim's wrong. He's a Trump supporter. He's this, he's that. Even those people are going to have to admit this does not look good. See, if you disagree with somebody, it may not be a deal breaker for you. Okay, I know where this person stands. We differ on this issue, but there may be other issues that you are simpatical on, right? But if you don't know where a person stands, you don't know if they're going left or going right, or if they're going to just cut off the car and sit there and think about it for a couple of days. Like, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what she believes in. That's because she don't believe in anything, Johnson. She just doesn't. And you can sit around, Tim Black, sit around waiting for me to tell you who to vote for, or ask those questions. Man, at the end of the day, do you want that? That's it. That's all. Do you want somebody you can't trust them at all? You don't know what they stand for. And some people are saying, yeah, Tim, I do. It's like, all right, that's on you. But I'm not talking to you then, because if you want somebody who can't commit to anything, the only thing that Kamala committed to, that she carried through on, was lying to us about Joe Biden. And she did that because that was her job. Right? I mean, she could have put the country first over Joe Biden, but she didn't. And if you're one of those persons that's lying to yourself saying, now Joe was fine, it was just when he had a debate, he's short-circuited, you do realize that's not how people work, right? That's not how decline works. It's steady over time. It wasn't a medical emergency that he suffered, right? So the only time that Kamala kept her word was sticking beside Joe Biden by lying to us about his mental capacity, his mental ability, telling us he's the sharpest one in the room. All the rooms she's been in with him, he's the sharpest one in the room. He's commanded the issues, is well advanced. He's That's the only thing that she's been solid on is lying to us. Vote for that if you want. I'm not. All right. I appreciate that, man. That was CNN that did that work on that. The K file. I'm interested to hear more of that. Jesus. On point. Can you imagine running ads with the other guy's pictures in your video and taking credit for his work? That is brazen. Imagine if Trump did some shit like that. That's right. You can do whatever you want to Trump because he's Hitler. I keep forgetting. You get to lie through your teeth, lie to everyone, doctor shit, truncate, cut off, edit videos, change his words around. Whatever you want to do to him is fine. It's fair game because he is the evil Mussolini. He is Idi Amin on steroids. But you are a saint. And you can do whatever you want to do, even if it means take credit for a wall he built that you shitted on perpetually. Put it in your campaign literature. Put it in your videos to get elected, to win an election, lying and change your position all at once. And then when Dana Bash sits across from you, she don't even do a follow-up on the question. She lets you say, I may have changed my position, but I haven't changed my commitment, passion, beliefs. That's what it was. I haven't changed my beliefs. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this pork. I thought you was off pork. Yeah. I'm gonna change my position, but I haven't changed my beliefs. Give me a pork sandwich with extra pork sandwich. And bacon on that too. Assalamu alaikum. All right, let's go to I want to go to this segment, man. This is going to be fun, okay? Now would be a good time to hit like, folks, because we're about to go to the last segment to wrap this up, but man, it's going to be something. I got something. Hit like, and if you're not a member of the show, join us. Subscribe, hit the bell, cut on notifications. What I'm doing right here, I don't think everybody else does this the way I do it. I think I'm unique. I think we bring something unique to the table, and help us spread the word about it, okay? So hit like, share it with people if you can. Let's go to comment section before we end. Did any new comments come in that I gotta say? Because I don't want to. I was told Tim Black, you gotta stay on top of that, man. Here we go. Black Mamba says, solid content. Thanks for giving us a great alternative. I'm looking forward to this debate. Bam! Black Mamba in the house. Thank you, Black Mamba. I appreciate you. And that's Super Sticker too. Damn, thanks, Black Mamba. Corpse Man. Corpse Mankind. Her real father's name is Donald J. Harris. I think she has zaddy issues, and that's why she's never met Trump. Wow. Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd like to hear where that one came from. I don't know. I don't think I played that button in 3 years. That's suspenseful. All right. So I put out a tweet earlier today, and I said, it was from a clip from yesterday when I said that, the Democratic Party, what have they done for us? They got I'm saying black people are tired. We're fed up. There's an energy. Black people know what time it is. The Democrats, they're running out of time. They're almost through, and there were people saying, Tim Black, they passed through. It's over. And I know what you mean, man. I get it. I know what you're saying, right? But there are some people that are on the fence. Okay, I got to get them off the fence. I need the Democrats to sink, man. Oh, yeah. I know what I'm doing. I can't stand that party. That party's horrible, man. That party lies to black people they the lying party. They like the Lion King. Okay? That's what that party is. Not every single person that's a Democrat. But I'm talking about their party structure, what they run on, how they manipulate black people. Just the fact they pit black people against black people. How are you going to pit black women against black men? Well, we know how, but why would I support a party that did that? Why would you have a problem with me having a problem with a party that does that? What'd that say about you? It's fine if you don't have a problem with them, pitting black men against black women or black women against black men. It's fine if you don't have a problem with it. Why would you have a problem with me having a problem with it? So not only do you not give a damn about black men and black women, but you want to control black men. I don't want to control you. Think how you want to think. But part of the reason why I'm so adamant about it when it comes to Kamala Harris is because I don't trust her at all, because she's given me no reason to trust her. That's why when she went to this barbershop, had this conversation, I said, got him. Got it.
And we're talking about specifically something that happened to black people here in America. So we have to be specifically targeting to help those people. Because we put those people in a position, and everybody knows the history. Yeah. Everybody understands the history of America.
That's right.
America, you did this to these people. You should write laws for these people. Don't group us in with everybody, because everybody didn't happen to everybody. But let's be fair. We playing from behind the eight ball. We way back there, 400 years back there. We're not asking y'all to give us nothing. We actually write the law. Those of us who are willing and able to do the work, will do the work.
That's right.
That's what we need.
That's right.
When I saw this clip, man, first of all, when I saw this brother articulating this to Kamala Harris, all I could think was, she laughing at you, bro. Look at that. Look at that. I'll make sure everybody can see this. Look at her. Look at her. To me, her face is saying, "This silly Negro. This silly young Negro. This silly black man, I got to listen to him. I got a room full of black people that have big hopes. That's not how any of this works." That's the vibe I get from it. It's almost embarrassing. And I mean this with all due respect, man. And I know you got to go to powerful people. You gotta shoot your shot. I can't even imagine sitting down doing that. Because nothing that Kamala says out of her mouth can you trust. Nah, not a thing that she says out of her mouth can be trusted. She didn't say anything, it would have made national news, international news. If something she said was anything more than word salad, it'd be everywhere. That's why I'm not even looking for her response in that conversation. Because I know it did like this. I know that conversation was all over the place. I know that she did everything except say, I'm going to do that. What you're asking me to do, I'm going to see to it gets done. Whatever it was. From what I understand, it wasn't reparations. He was just saying, do some things for black people. And she was like, you're right. She didn't say, I'm going to do. She didn't say, we are already doing. She didn't say, hey, I'm working on it right now with Biden. She just said, you're right. You're right. Racism sucks. Being a black man dying early sucks. You're right. Redlining was bad. You're right. We all know the history. Because that's what she does. She just restates the problem and then goes riding down in the woods somewhere. So that's talking about something totally different that has nothing to do with what you were referring to. And part of this got me really thinking, guys. When I saw that clip, I said, you know what? I want people to understand this. Because one of the things that they've been doing, excuse me, what they've been doing, not just with Kamala Harris's campaign, but also with the Joe Biden campaign. So after watching that clip, I started thinking about how can I best illustrate this? See, because what they like to do is they like to say, hey, we did all these great things. We got all this stuff done. We did the infrastructure bill. We did the college, the student loan forgiveness, the canceling. We did all these great things. Look, we did the chips. We did the chips. What about that big bill, trillions of dollars for the infrastructure? We even cut on some broadband connections for people to live out in the sticks. We did all these great things. What are you talking about? We're amazing. We cut insulin. Yeah, forget the fact that it was already cut, but we cut it again. No, it was in an executive order 4 years ago, but I mean, I came in and I put it in my order. I got it done for you. We did that for you. And the problem is a lot of people fall for this type of talk, right? They fall for the unemployment numbers or the employment numbers. They fall for the student loan stuff. They fall for the talk about the chips, even though they don't know anybody that got a chip job. They fall for the broadband stuff, although they already had 5G where they at. But they listen to say, oh, that's a lot of stuff. And they forget it don't matter unless it impacts your life. It doesn't matter. It's like somebody else lost 50 pounds and you gained 20 pounds and you jumping up and down about them losing weight. Now, I know we should be supportive of our other brothers and sisters or whoever it is that's winning it all, okay? I understand that. But there comes a time where you have to be selfish. Black people are not in a position that we can just jump up and down for migrants coming over to the country. That's what people don't get. We're not in a position. They think that there are people that think that we are doing well when we are not doing well and have not ever been doing well in this country. There's nothing great to go back to. It's never been great. So that's the position where Black people are at. So when they start talking about all these great things that they've done, I said, well, look, this is where I want to put it. Let me use the NBA. I'm going to use the NBA as an analogy. And even if you're not an NBA fan, you will understand this, okay? You don't have to be an NBA fan. You don't have to know the sport very well, but you'll know numbers and how numbers sound to you. And that's pretty much because we don't know much about the Infrastructure Act. We don't know much about the CHIPS deal. We don't know much about how many people really were impacted by student loans. We don't know much about the broadband, who got broadband, who didn't have broadband, who didn't have it, who needed it. We don't really know. They just tell you some stuff and it sounds good. Jasmine Crockett comes out or Joy Reid or somebody says something, and it just sounds good. You go, yeah, that's what it is. I said that whiny, high-pitched, saucy dude on Twitter who's been caping for 6 years, finally gets a picture with her, and he goes, yay! And look at all the things and comments is. And you see a bunch of expletives, all loud and crazy, voice cracking, and that's supposed to mean something. It's like, oh, okay, maybe she did something. And you think maybe she did something. So, okay, the NBA analogy is this. What if I told you last year there was a team that got 3,244 field goals or baskets? They also got 2,310 two-point shots. So baskets, of those baskets, 2,310 of them were two-point shots. 1,623 of them were free throws. 916 offensive rebounds, which are not easy to get because you're on the other team's basket. They got 25 and 64, 2,564 defensive rebounds, throwing them elbows. They had 1,884 assists. That's when they passed the ball to somebody and they passed the ball so well, the other person was able to continue their motion and score a bucket because of that pass. Coming on time. There were 934 three-point shots. That's how many shots they scored, three-point shots. It's almost 1,000 three-point shots. That's a lot of shots to score. Not by yourself practicing in a game. 308 blocks, 574 steals for a total of 9,045 total points in one season. You go, damn, that sounds great, man. That's an amazing score. They crushed it. They killed it. Sounds impressive, don't it? Now, what if I told you that was the worst team in the NBA? Yeah, that was the worst team. That was the Detroit Pistons. It sounds good because I'm just giving you the numbers without any context, which is sort of like the whole game plan for the Joe Biden, the Biden-Harris campaign, and now the Kamala campaign. And really, Don't even want to run on the body numbers, running on no numbers, running on nothing. Yeah, the Pistons season was the worst season in the league. They only won 17 games. They lost 65 games, 17 wins to 65 losses. But it sounded good. They scored 9,045 points. They came in dead last. What I'm trying to get you to understand is this is the game that's played with you. You don't know the context. The team that scored the most points, or the winning team, the team that won the championship, was the Denver Nuggets. And the Denver Nuggets, their numbers was crazy. I'm just going to cut to the chase and say they won 53 games, and they only lost 29. And the last game was the most important because that's how they got that jewelry called the winning the national championship. That's what they got. But see how the game it's got trickery in it. You'll mess around, you listen to these people rattle off numbers, rattle off stats, rattle off all this stuff, and you think, that's something. Nah, it's nothing unless you won the game. Unless you got the trophy. And if you didn't get the trophy, what place did we come in? And what I'm trying to tell you, black people are doing so bad in this country, we can't just sit back and root for the other team to win. You can't be the Pistons going, yay, go Denver. Nah, you can't be Detroit. You can't be the Pistons rooting for the Nuggets because you last. That means you die first. That means your kids have less of a bright future. That means you have less to pass down to them. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have time to play. You can't just cheer for the other teams. I wish you could. But the other teams are trying to win. They're not cheering like you cheering. They want Kamala to win because they want black people to get a shot like they don't want to end this racism thing. You need to want Kamala to win because you're going to move up. You're going to actually become the Nuggets. And if she ain't offering to make you the Nuggets, you have a responsibility to demand that she does. Or you want to be traded. Because that's what the game's about. So when you got Jasmine Crockett bragging about the student loan forgiveness program, because she does a lot of that talking about. What most people don't know is that student loan program, for instance, I wish I could debate her on this. I would love to talk to her. I would love to talk to anybody who wants to have an opportunity on a stage where there's people, where there's an opportunity to put them under. Because see, I know for a fact that $10,000 to $20,000, that ain't help everybody. Not even close to it. And I know I'm gonna have somebody in the comments that goes, it helped me. It wiped out my debt. Well, you know what? You met the criteria. See, $10,000 to $20,000 was all they wiped out when the average student borrows $30,000 or more. And to get that, you had to be paying for 10 years. And if you made over $125,000, you weren't even eligible for the cut. And about 1.6, 1.1, what was it? What's the actual numbers? NBC reports. Okay, so you got, I'm sorry. The Biden administration canceled $167.3 billion worth of student debt. They canceled it. And that sounds like an awful lot of money. I don't care who you are. It is an awful lot of money. But you got to remember what cancel means. I just told you these people were already paying. These people didn't just go get student debt yesterday and then it's like, okay, now it's canceled. No, you had to be paying. The student debt was on the books. 10 years already paid. Half the time, these people done paid up most of the principal. It was all but all the interest and still trying to pay off the principal. People have died with student loan on their books. You can't get rid of it in a bank. You can't get rid of it in a bankruptcy. And I just told you it's 10 to 20 grand. And 20 grand if you got a Pell Grant. And I told you this criteria, right? And if you make too much, you don't get discharged. But $167 billion still sound like a whole lot of money, Tim, and I agree with you. It also canceled that, Tim, for 4.7 million borrowers. 4.7 million borrowers had some money cut. Not all, canceled. They didn't get money. They were able to stop paying. They were able to stop paying as much. Get it? Stop paying as much. Some are still paying. A lot of them are still paying. In fact, the overwhelming majority of people are still paying. NBC News reports that over 45 million people still hold federal student loan debt. Yeah, so when they say 4.7 million people got reductions, you got to remember 45 million people are still paying. See what Jasmine Crockett's not saying when she's going on and on and on about how great Joe Biden is and how she wish she had a father like Joe Biden. What a disrespectful thing. I wish my child would say some shit like that. 4.7 million borrowers got some relief, but 45 million people are still paying. That $67.3 billion sounded like a whole lot of money till I tell you that still 1.6 trillion is still owed. Which means basically what they did is they cut off about 10% of the debt. And we got people running around acting like they're supposed to name their child after Joe Biden. We got people that weren't impacted by it, but the numbers sound good. They kind of vote for him because they say, well, he did do something about the student loan debt. I mean, it didn't help me. It didn't help my cousins or my sisters or my brothers. But somebody black got help, or somebody poor got help, or somebody Asian, Latino, or white, or working class, or whatever. Somebody got some help. And what I'm telling you, yeah, somebody did. About 10% of the people that needed it got help. 10%. And that's not enough for them to have their chest all the way out. That ain't enough for Jasmine Crockett to be on every one of these shows. That's not enough for Roland Martin to get loud and yell and call people dumb in simple Simons. 10% ain't enough. We just got a clip of Steve Harvey going in. Who was he going in on? Dr. Umar or something? Because Dr. Umar said, hey, man, maybe you took some money. I think you took some money. Because they offered Dr. Umar 10 grand. He's like, what they offer y'all? Probably offered y'all 10 grand. Y'all took it. Steve was like, nah, I won't even get out of bed for $10,000. Yeah, I wish I would get out of bed for $10,000. Steve Harvey don't do nothing for $10,000. You know what? We shouldn't do nothing for 10%. Black America should not get out of bed for 10%. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and say what it is. Only about 30% of us graduate from college. We had the lowest graduation rate. We end up with more debt, but we don't graduate. We don't all get that paper at the end of the day because we couldn't afford it. Remember, this is student loan debt cancellation. This ain't up front. More people get to go to college. More people get to go. But people have already been paying. So to pay back a debt, most of us had to stay in college to create the debt. You understand what I'm saying? So if Steve Harvey can fix his mouth to say, yeah, I don't get out of bed for $10,000, Black America should not get out to the polls for Joe Biden or for Kamala Harris, in this case, Kamala Harris, for 10%. Knowing damn well we probably like represent maybe 2.5% of the 10% of the people that got relief. But it sounds good because you start with the huge numbers and you say $1.67 billion. What was it? That's crazy, Tim Black. Yeah. 167, I can't even say it, $167.3 billion canceled. Not giving people money. Canceled. Meanwhile, $1.6 trillion is still on the books, still old. People still got to pay it. This is not bragging rights. So what I'm saying, a lot of what's going on with the Democratic Party, folks, is smoke and mirrors. It is lies. It is exaggerations. I'm tired of my people getting lied to. I'm tired of my people getting lied to and the media covering it up and not telling the truth. What I'm saying here is simple numbers, man. Why isn't Joy Reid reporting this? Why isn't Whoopi going off on this? Where's Sonny hosting when you need her? Where were you, Sonny? Oh, that's right, giving Biden a verbal back massage. Acting totally insulted by the lamest of things. I'm insulted that you distract and run interference and cover for an administration that does these things that no one asked. No one asked you to do this shit. And if they did, maybe some people did want student loan forgiveness. Okay. I got a feeling they wanted a lot more than that. And you didn't deliver on that. That's not delivering. If you vote for a party 90% of the time, you should be able to make demands of that party and don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear. You can't do it. That's when you camp outside. Whoever, if you say Joe Manchin or whoever it is not going along with the program. They're being a problem, and we can't get our legislation done because of Joe Manchin. I expect you to be camped out in West Virginia on his doorstep with a whole news crew sitting there with you and holding a press conference on a weekly basis. That's what you're supposed to do. I have never heard anybody have a rebuttal that made any sense to that argument. Because that's what I would do if I really wanted something done. When you want something done and somebody's in the way you're doing it, you confront them. Did Biden ever confront Joe Manchin? Did Kamala confront Joe Manchin? Why would they? If they did, why is it a secret? Where are the cameras at? Since they're holding up his agenda. Now, we get to hear for 5 years, 4 years, of Trump out of power, daily Trump negative news. When the person that they said was stopping all the great things from happening is another Democrat or two, Kristen Sinema. Why you camp out at her house? Biden could have went down to West Virginia. Kamala could have went to Arizona and dealt with Sinema. And if you can't do that, what good are you? If you can't do that, you ain't black. Or worth time a day. All right, guys, my name is Tim Black. This is the Tim Black Show. We do this every day. I'm just going to start saying 10 p.m. because that's really what time I get started. But, folks, I try to bring you the best show. I start working on this shit during the day, believe me. And I'm proud of what we did tonight. I'm glad to share it with you. Now, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Share this show with somebody. Get the word out. Whatever happens on November 5th, it ain't over. Because who's ever in power gonna catch it. They're gonna catch it because this ain't about parties. This is about what we the people need done. This is actual news that matters, right? So be a part of this. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Join the Tim Black VIP Club. I got a couple reports coming your way too. But those are free. I'm not charging for. I just want to be a resource and provide information that's valuable to my people. That's it. So be a part of that. Let me go to the comment section. Anybody else? Did I miss anything, guys? I did not. All right. That's it. Look, we'll be back tomorrow. Remember, it's Friday. It's Friday, so be here tomorrow. One more time, one more again. Remember, don't you let nobody take your cornbread. That's your cornbread. Keep your cornbread. This has been the Tim Black Show. Send me your hate mail to your mama's house. Nah, My website is timblacktv.com. There's a form there where you can send me mail. It's like a direct message. All right. A lot of people use it. Use that joint if you need to get in contact with me. Also, Patreon. That's it. I'm on Patreon. We got a lot of new members too. Got some new people that came through, man. Thank you. Thank you to my new members on Patreon, man. I support you. Thank you for supporting us. I got your back. Thank you for having mine. Tim Sake Live on Patreon. That's where I'm at. That's it. I'm done. Arlene Chambers in the house. Arlene, thank you for another powerful show. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you, Arlene Chambers. And with that, we out. Yeah. Where are my girls at? Where are my ladies? The hell? Oh, there they go.
Now, there you go. I gotta wait till it's my